You are listening to CMH EPC's Cocktail Mocktail Hour podcast. We host a Cocktail Mocktail Hour once a month where we discuss various topics over cocktails. And for those who don't drink alcohol, mocktails. We are inclusive over here. Sip your favorite cocktail with us or try our featured cocktail as we dialogue. This is an environment to hear new and different perspectives. Everyone's thoughts, feelings, and opinions are valid to them, and in this space, we respect that. Welcome. With Cocktail Hour, we are also sipping cocktails. And the cocktail featured this month is my favorite, a whiskey smash. And that cocktail is made with whiskey. You muddle some mint, a little bit of lemonade, some peppermint schnapps, and top it off with ginger beer. And that's what we're sipping on today. So I'm going to introduce our guest that we have today. We have Carrie, who is a native Houstonian. She is a legal assistant in her third year of studying law at Southern University, which I found out during research is the largest historically black college or university in Louisiana. So shout out to the HBCUs.
Whoop,
Whoop, whoop.
Hello, hi.
Hello and welcome. And we have Janet Pope, JP, my friend.
That's right.
She is a corporate responsibility executive. She delivers workforce engagement strategies that support people, protect the planet, and grow community partnerships. She is also the founder and president of the nonprofit The Good Lounge, which was founded in 2001 to amplify access to financial, physical, and emotional well-being through edutainment. The Good Lounge works with organizations, experts, and leaders to broker connections and share tools that empower diverse communities with a focus on supporting women, people of color, and LGBTQ communities. We also have Steph here today, who is also a fellow podcaster. If you haven't heard her, you're going to have to check her out. She is a human, a free people contributor, internal mediator, and peace generator. She sows seeds of understanding regularly through her podcast programming, Understandably So. Intention set on sowing seeds of understanding to enhance the human experience. She believes understanding is a form of breathing. So welcome, you guys.
What up?
We're here, round table, cocktails, it's happening. We have a number of topics that have been submitted, and we're going to discuss those. As I said, it's a safe space. Say how you feel. Maybe you'll get a new perspective on something. I don't know. In the meantime, I'm going to sip my cocktail. What are you sipping on? All right. What's your favorite article of clothing and why? I'm going to say my wrap that I wear at home because I don't like wearing clothes anyway, but society says we must. And so
Even your own space.
And so when I'm at home or if there's like people over, I wear a wrap because it feels like nothing. So I'm going to say nothing or my wrap.
Is it like a robe? Your wrap is a robe?
It's a wrap.
It's like a huge.
Like a huge, some people may call them a sarong.
Oh, okay.
That's
Like,
fancy.
yeah,
Sound
but
like a
I call it
muumuu.
a wrap.
Right. No, I was gonna ask.
No. The muumuu is like pullover and like the things,
Okay,
right?
this is not pullover.
This is not.
Yeah, 'cause she can wrap
Consider
the wrap.
something like a sarong.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Well,
A big
A
scarf.
huge scarf.
a huge scarf for your
But
body.
for your body. Okay.
Yeah.
So she can wrap it at top.
So
she
I
can
just
wrap it at
like
bottom.
tie it right here, and it's just like,
Oh, okay.
there we are.
That's cute.
Yeah.
You want me to go next?
Yes.
She's looking at you.
I mean,
Favorite article of clothing. and
yeah.
why?
So it's probably two things. I love a good hoodie. If I'm honest, they're just
You like being
warm.
cozy?
They're cozy. I don't get to wear them in Houston much. It's hot here all the time.
in December.
Yes,
Horrible.
but I think I just like the way they feel. They're very comfortable usually. But I also in the last 2 years ish have been introduced to like having my pants tailored. And there's something about the fit of tailored pants that is amazing.
That'll do it.
So those would probably be my top two.
Yeah. Speaking of hoodies, though, the Hue, they got nice hoodies. The quality is amazing. Just FYI.
I just got a Hue hoodie, so I'm excited.
Have you felt the quality of the
Not
fabric
yet. I literally just got it.
It's amazing.
Okay.
I think my favorite article would be these hammer pants that I have. All of my hammer pants, they fit lovely.
Come on, Hammer. I want to do the hammer
Yeah.
dance.
And I
Sorry.
can move around a lot of them.
Oh, okay. It's on me.
Yeah.
I guess I'm similar to Courtney. I would prefer not to wear anything. But usually like a big t-shirt will do it, you know. Don't have to wear anything else. Just covers all my bits.
And those t-shirt dresses,
They do it for me.
amazing.
Every time. I have a comfort
You
one.
gotta
It has
leave.
a hoodie.
Mm.
I throw it on. I'm in the zone. I'm feeling
to go.
good. It's a good day.
Good to
it's
go.
a good day if I can wear that.
Is this stuff y'all wearing in the house?
Yeah, yeah.
Has
yeah.
to be.
I can-
They're not going out with this.
Okay, because the way she's talking about this scarf wrap, I'm like,
Although
Yeah.
I
going
will
to the
say I
store?
have worn the scarf wrap sarong to the beach as well.
Oh,
But I
okay.
have
Well,
quite
bathing
a,
suits on under
I
it.
have quite a few of
Because we
them.
don't talk about titties out.
No, not free balling. We can't free ball these.
No.
Right.
No,
That's
ma'am.
Hey, I just clarity for the folks because they can't see you now.
They won't.
Yeah. Somebody would be blessed that day.
Right. It's just the sarong? Oh, we wild.
No, not out in public. What a mercy. All right. How do you feel about kids at the bar or at a brewery?
What country are we in?
I don't know. Here? I mean, the question was asked from somebody who's from
There
here.
are countries where as long as you can see over the bar, you can drink.
You can drink at the bar.
Yes.
Oh, my.
Maybe not now, but
So
at
are we
some
like
point
teenagers,
they could.
tweens?
Yeah,
What's
like
happening
13,
here?
you can get a beer. Don't let me misspeak. I think in Germany, at some point in time, if not today, if you could see over the bar, you could get a beer. But
if you
beer
can see
is
what you want to order, you can order it.
Yeah, that's probably not true anymore.
Oh, okay. Well,
We have laws and things now.
I think
But yeah,
breweries, I think it's a little bit of an exception. I think all the ones that I've gone to, they have like a nice little outside area, and people have their kids there all the time, at least during the day. I've never been at night, but the bar, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of children being in most places. I think that there should be designated areas for children to be
school,
at.
home.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Nah.
In the
If it's-
park.
If it's 21 and up, your children do not need to be there. Although in Texas, it is legal for children to drink when they are with their parents.
I
Yeah.
did learn
The
that.
parent
this
can
year.
order a drink. The child has to stay with the parent in the same room.
But they have to
That
be a
is
certain age, right?
I thought
No,
they
it is at the
did.
discretion
I
of
was
the parent.
Waitress, yeah.
Oh.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
TABC says that too.
I did just learn that this year
Yeah.
about Texas.
I
It's
will
interesting.
say my thought process on that is just the way that I grew up, which is that alcoholic beverages is an adult thing, and that should be like children should not be in an adult space. And so that's always like that's how I grew up, and so that's why I'm like when I'm at a bar and I'm with my friends and there's children, I'm like, oh my gosh. Or if it's like late at night and I want to turn up a little bit, I'm like, but there's children here and I can't turn up the way that I want to turn up because I'm trying to respect the child, but their parents brought them here. But also like it's an adult space.
But isn't there like a rule that if you're under 21, you're not supposed to be at the physical bar area, but if it's a restaurant, they can be in the restaurant? Is that not a rule? Did I make that
There
up?
was one bar that I did an event at, and he said that children are welcome there till 9, and after 9,
At the actual bar part?
and
Interesting.
after 9,
Probably not by themselves. They're with their parents.
well,
though.
right,
Okay. yeah.
right.
Like you can't just have a kid chilling at a bar by
It
themselves.
just
What are you
wouldn't
doing
feel
here?
Right.
I Ubered
Right.
here.
to meet my mother.
Well,
That's
a
right.
thing.
That's
That's
right.
a thing too.
Yeah, I think anywhere that they're allowing pets, you know.
Oh, don't
you
get
can
me
see
started.
children.
That
I don't think that's
conversation.
the same.
I'm
Listen,
just saying,
we've
if
had
pets
this
are allowed,
conversation.
children should be allowed as well. I get that
Ma'am.
they're not the same. I totally get
No.
that. But you're not gonna have one family aspect and not have another.
No, I
If
mean,
you are
for one
bringing,
furry and
if you are
one's not.
bringing foo-foo, this is your family that's coming to the bar with you, and you should also be allowed to bring.
But one
your
is
child.
furry and one is not. So
Right,
my
and
thing is
one-
this, because we live in Texas or Houston and we have lots of bars that are dog friendly.
Yes, we do. Which
Patios.
is why I brought this up.
My thing is patio. Like I'm okay with a dog in a patio area. Now I went to steak night last week, and it's a huge like most of their real estate is their patio, and we were out having steak, but there was a dog literally sitting in the chair at the bar, and I thought about this conversation we had however long ago we had it about dogs being in the bar, and I was like, this is not okay. Like at this point it's a sanitary issue because drinks are being made at the bar
Yes.
and your dog is sitting in a chair at the
Agreed.
bar. This is not okay.
Disgusting.
When
I
you
agree.
have this huge patio
Yeah,
for your dog to roam.
yeah, I don't disagree.
I was about to say, for you, I agree and disagree because I think that with both, there's a responsibility because I've been at the bar when people's dogs have like gone nuts and I'm like afraid because I mean, I'm not afraid of dogs, but like German Shepherds,
Listen.
they're
if they
some
seem
big dogs.
uneasy.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you're like intoxicated, like you can't control your dog. It's almost like you need to be able to control your kid. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
there's certain responsibilities that come with both, but I do not think that they are the same. I think that I would be more comfortable with a dog being at the bar than a kid. But
Wait.
again,
Okay.
I think it's the time
Patio
of
bar.
patio bar as well.
People are bringing German Shepherds to bars.
For sure, Little Woodrows.
They are. I think I saw a Rottweiler in the
Midtown.
bar one day.
No, that's
I've
a
seen
I just like
turned
bringing the
around.
Great Dane. Like,
I
what
left.
we doing?
What we doing?
I've
'Cause
seen
that's a small
Dobermans.
bear.
But people
Yeah.
have Great Danes in apartments. It's nuts.
I
I
love
agree.
Great
That is
Danes.
crazy.
That's
What's
irresponsible
like
pet
that?
parent.
That is irresponsible.
You don't do
No, because
that.
that is a whole.
That's a horse.
Like, you need to put him on
Yeah.
your lease. Like he owes
Yeah.
some money.
That's
I agree.
crazy.
But people do it.
You're right.
Irresponsible.
These people.
Lord of mercy. Okay, so the next topic is, what do you think is about to happen? And then in parentheses it says globally. What do you think is about to happen? So I've been hearing about a lot of shortages, right? So there's like a plastic shortage. There's a helium shortage because I work at a boutique party supply store, and people are like, why is helium so high? Well, because we have to mine that, and it's a shortage. And then we had the one with the car parts where there was a shortage for that.
Yeah.
So what do we think is about to happen? I mean, inflation's already happening, but like, what do we think is going to happen globally? Any thoughts or ideas, or have you even thought about it? Has that thought even crossed your mind?
Yeah, no. I think I've just been letting life happen to me a little bit lately.
I try to stay in my bubble
Like,
a
I'm
little
not an
bit.
economist.
Yeah.
The economy wasn't my best,
I feel
subject.
a shift in human consciousness.
Mm.
Yeah, whether it's one way or another,
Mhm.
unconsciousness or an expansiveness in consciousness. I absolutely feel that.
Mm. Globally.
Yeah,
Well, it's all connected.
yeah.
Is
all
it?
connected.
Human consciousness is globally by definition.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense to me. I don't know. I think for whatever reason, financial things came to mind when you asked that question.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact because my company's stock is in euros. The dollars, if it hasn't already, is near about to pass the euro, and that's never happened in my at least time at this company where I've been paying attention to the euro. So that's interesting to me. I
When you
don't.
say pass it. What you mean?
It will be worth more than the euro. So that's interesting to me. I don't know what it means, but the fact that it's never happened has to mean something,
Facts.
right?
Historical.
Yeah.
Right, and that might be it. It just might be historical. But to me, it feels like, I need to be deepening my education on finances and investment and all the things, because it definitely feels like there's some shifts going on globally in that space. But I don't have a good, more detailed answer than that.
For sure. It kind of makes me think about the, is it the crypto situation that just happened where the dude lost all of his money? I don't understand crypto, so I don't know why I brought it up.
It's something to pay attention to.
I
as
mean,
well.
sure. Like, I thought it might be like the next thing where it's like, we're okay. But then, yeah, I don't know.
Crypto's a lot older than it seems, though. I mean, I'm not an expert on this topic either, but I think, what's his name? Hassan Minaj, the Patriot Act, and it doesn't, I get the name is a little misleading. But he had a whole show on Netflix that had a number of different episodes about different topics.
Yes.
And
Okay, I've
voting was a
seen that.
topic. Cryptocurrency was a topic. He was on the Daily Show for a number of years before he started his own show. I think some people are thinking he may be the host because Trevor Noah is retiring, and it'd be awesome if he is. I like him a lot.
He definitely delivered the news in a way that I think I could definitely understand and actually care to listen to, rather.
Agree. And you're all from Houston. Do you remember News Fix? There was a show on one of the news networks that was called News Fix. This would have been circa 2010, 11, a little bit later, 12, because I remember watching it when I first got to Houston, and the way that it delivered the news was the only way that I liked receiving the news. It was like very short clips. It was a lot like the Patriot Act brings in like videos and graphics, and it was a little bit ahead of its time. It doesn't come on anymore. But it made me like the news again, if
Yeah.
I'm honest. And shout out to Houston and whoever was producing Newsfix, because it made me like the news again. But yeah, I think, just the way that he's kind of explaining those things made it edutainment for me on the news.
Come on, edutainment.
Yeah, come on, edutainment. I like edutainment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forget where we were going with that question, but yeah,
Things that are happening globally.
right.
All right. Do you consider having a college degree a requirement when dating?
Hell no.
Nah, not at all.
Same. About that life experience.
Listen,
Give me
the
that
value of a
experience.
college degree has dropped so far
Listen.
that
it's
I
too
want to
expensive.
trade mine in for a rebate.
My money back.
Let me get that money back. I'm gonna trade you because
I mean,
What
The
we doing?
return on
Y'all's.
investment of
Come
this
on.
Those are
one.
y'all's, but
Listen.
it's foolishness.
You poor thing. You're still in school.
we don't have to talk about it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Look,
No, it's
finals
true.
I just finished finals, and so it is winter
We're not.
break.
We're not thinking about school at all right
Why
now.
not?
It's
We're just
definitely
thinking
too
about work.
expensive.
Mhm.
It's too
Way
expensive.
Too expensive.
Yeah.
And what are we getting for it?
God forbid you get out of school and be like, I only make a quarter of this.
Literally.
Like, then it's really your loans because y'all played me.
But then it's like, oh, we make this, but now everything is more expensive. Thanks,
Yeah.
inflation.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
because
definitely
your
happening.
bachelors don't mean nothing, sis.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't equate intelligence.
Not at all. But we knew
C's
that
get
when we got
degrees.
them. We got them because we felt like we had to cross a certain rite of passage threshold, be able to put something on a resume.
But
et
for a lot
cetera.
of us, we
It
were
did
first
signal
generation
intelligence,
college,
though.
right? Like a lot of us
I
was
was.
like,
Oh, for sure.
they were the first ones in their families to go to college.
Yeah,
my
I was
parents
first
went to a
generation.
HBCU, so I was second. But yes, I get
Yeah.
what you're saying.
So it was like, you got to do this. You got to rise above. And
Yeah.
then,
But I
didn't
saw
understand
stupid.
it. I'm
I
like,
saw
none of y'all
stupid
did
people
none of
around
this.
me. I saw stupid
Did
people
none
around
of
me in
y'all
college.
do none of this.
I think because I saw stupid people around me in college graduating, I didn't equate it to intelligence.
right.
But it was like, we all need to do this because this is what a good employer will expect me to have to
Yeah.
get a good air quote job.
But what's interesting is that we don't equate it to intelligence, like while we're in it, but then to get out and remember, like after graduating, nigga didn't have a degree. It's like, oh, you don't have a degree. Oh, you ain't,
Yep.
it was
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
one up. If
Yep.
it wasn't on
Sure.
intelligence, it was on something, and it
And
was
then
just
years
like
later,
this
it's like, oh, you got student loans.
Right. And you've been working this whole time, so you got a little bit.
Right.
exactly.
It's definitely, I feel like when I was coming up, my mom is also an educator. She was a teacher, principal, superintendent. So there was no question.
Go, Mom.
We were
You're
all
going to
going to
school.
college,
Yeah.
and we all went to college, and everybody actually has a master's degree, and my youngest brother is working on a PhD. So it's a lot of education in our family. But I feel like now, if I had an 18-year-old, that would not be the conversation. I would never force them to go to school because it costs too much.
It's expensive.
And so I think people are a lot more open about other channels to get to wherever you want to be. I don't know if Sasha and the Obamas helped some of that. But yeah, it's definitely different. I don't feel like people feel the pressure that they have to do it anymore.
because you
Right.
don't, you do not. It used to be a
Nah.
prerequisite. Like,
Sure, absolutely. Now, education is important.
Yeah, but
there's
it
so
wasn't
many ways to
giving
be educated.
education.
There's
But
so many
exactly,
ways to be
but
educated.
is it the 4-year college, or is it, again, educating yourself in the field? But education is definitely important. So,
Or the classes at Harvard that you can take
Online, right.
and now Rice University has these like small courses you can take. Okay, Rice U.
edX is pretty cool. I took a religion and rap class with Bun B
Oh, that sounds
from, I think it's a partnership with Rice University.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, edX is free. edX.edu, I think.
Okay.
You can take all
nice.
kinds of free stuff on there.
Let me write that
You learn
down.
all the different things.
Absolutely.
I've taken a lot of courses. I'm from Spring Branch, represent. And it's the Ed to Go. And so I've done quite a few courses through there. I don't necessarily know what they call it, but I've done quite a few courses through that. I mean, they're very inexpensive, but you get to learn a lot more beyond what you already know. So,
Yeah, that's cool.
rep Spring Branch, Springwoods, class of 04.
I used to live in Spring Branch. Does that count? No,
It does. I mean, you were there long enough.
I was there for a
Yeah,
while, 7
yeah.
years. Yeah,
Y'all are Northside shawties.
Northwest.
that's right. Get that that west
Yeah.
correct.
Listen,
In there.
get the
Clear.
North- listen.
So we're not talking
We're not talking about
Greenspoint.
45.
Uh-oh. No offense to anybody that might be listening from the north side.
Wait, my friend just bought a house off of 45. Okay, so don't get it twisted. I'm just
Okay.
saying, we Northwest over here.
We are we were northwest. Am I still northwest?
You
I'm
are
further
far.
west,
You
though.
are you're far.
Yeah, I'm pretty far.
That's out there. What are some of your non-negotiables?
In what? Work? Relationships?
What are some of your
What did you
non-negotiables?
think of when you heard
What's
that?
the first thing that comes to mind? I guess
I thought of work, but that's because I'm trying to retire.
you work
fast.
too much. You got balance in your
Just
life.
trying to get
First
up
thing
out
that
of
came
there.
to mind.
She's trying to get up out of
Retire
there.
early.
Trying to retire.
First thing that came to my mind is violence, any form,
Mm.
mental, emotional, physical.
Yeah, that's good.
Nah, non-negotiable.
No abuse. That's
No
good.
abuse.
That's a good one.
Does manipulation fall into that?
It can.
Yeah.
But okay, but when you're being manipulated, do you know that you're being manipulated? Like that's another thing. So that may be a non-negotiable, but how do you know when it's happening? Or do you know
I guess
those
it's
red
different.
flags before it happens,
I think
or
it
when it's happening?
depends on who you're with, and like if you, like you said, are self-aware, so you like replay situations, and you're like, I'm pretty sure I was being manipulated when that happened. Then you kind of address it or not address it, but like you can say, okay, I'm going to cut this person off because you are manipulating me, and you probably know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
You can tell. I think manipulation is a pattern that people. So if you're paying attention, you can tell. If you're conscious, you can tell. If you're not, then no.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It does. Non-negotiable for me. I don't think I've ever thought about this. I feel like I feel energies, and so when I feel like we just don't mesh for whatever reason, like at this point, I've decided like or have learned to like not question it because like there's a reason why our energy is not meshing well, whether I know exactly what that is or not. So I don't know that I necessarily have a non-negotiable. It's more so just like how I interact with that person, what their energy is like, I think.
I think for me, since I know I can take care of myself. If you can't take care of yourself, I think that's a non-negotiable. I think you should add value to wherever you know, whatever space you're in. So I think that is more so.
So that's your like
non-negotiable.
personal non-negotiable for yourself.
Yeah,
When you
I
say
like
take
that.
care of yourself, do you mean like financially?
pretty much financially. I would say I don't mind supporting anyone, right? But like if you're going into the situation wanting that supporter, or I guess more so needing it, I'm not down for that. Just
Okay.
because
Just the
I'm one of
financial
those-
though. What
and
about the other?
The emotional. I mean, the emotional as well. I think it truly depends on like what that person is, like where they're at. Because like I don't think in my state of mind right now, I don't think I could be available to be there for you if you're not able to be there for yourself. Like
Yeah.
I can't put that burden on myself right now. I got a lot going on.
Yeah.
So like if you're willing to say like, hey, I have this issue, but like I can't help you identify. I can't help you seek help. I can't do all that.
Yeah.
Like,
I got you.
I don't have the capacity for that.
I'm not your therapist.
If you've
Yeah.
identified the issue and you say you want to be with me and we can work this out, then cool. But if you haven't even got there yet, like I can't.
Yeah,
Oh Lord,
that's
you're
interesting.
wow.
So
Just-
I wouldn't have labeled this a non-negotiable, but based on this conversation, I think I always, maybe you said energies, I'm drawn to people who can navigate multiple spaces. So if I can take you to like a company party, or we could also go to a club, or we can also go to the church, and you are comfortable in all of those spaces, whether you're talking to the CEO of a company, you know, the bartender at the most ratchet club we can find, or, you know, the pastor's wife, whatever. Like, if you're comfortable navigating with multiple people with multiple perspectives, I'm very drawn to that. And I feel like, again, I don't know if I call it a non-negotiable, but certainly when people can't do that, I'm out.
So you're saying you're well-rounded.
I like well-roundedness around me. Yes.
Got it.
That's good.
Another non-negotiable for me is children.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No
piggyback.
kids.
No children?
So
Preferably
anti-kid,
no
anti-dog
animals.
in here.
Not
But-
anti-dog.
Oh.
No, we love
anti-kid.
dogs.
Okay, I was gonna say preferably no animals too, but you know that's like
You're anti tiny humans because why?
the responsibility of them.
Mm.
I don't have any pets, any children. Don't have any desire for them. I have a couple of plants, but very low
Plant mom.
maintenance.
Hey.
You know,
Plant mom.
like if I need
Yeah.
to pick up and go out of town right now, I can.
I
I
understand
need you
that.
to be available to do the same.
Yeah,
Okay.
Y'all
I hear you.
Okay.
Well, you know what you want.
Yeah,
That's important.
very
Self awareness
true.
is important.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you wouldn't even like talk to someone who has a kid because you don't even want to get that far.
What we doing?
What if the kid is like 20?
That's cool. That ain't a kid.
Okay, cool. So it's like
still their
past
It's their
age,
child,
you
but they're
know.
not a kid.
not a
So
child.
if
So
they
it's
don't
more
need
so the
yeah, no
responsibility.
children.
Okay, I got you. The responsibility of taking care of.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
children.
Yeah.
I see.
And I know that parenting and the child, like that relationship is a lifelong thing. I'm
Right.
completely fine with that. Yeah.
Okay.
She just doesn't want the responsibility.
Do you think that
Right.
will change,
Somebody.
or is that how you feel right now?
Oh, that's how I've always felt.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's changing.
Got
Do
you.
you have like nieces, nephews?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. See, I feel like
But they're
that's
not
how
hers.
you-
That's
Yeah,
why I
you
love
can give them
mine.
back.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm like, let me
Right.
borrow them for the weekend and then I would give them back.
They literally think you're the best person ever because like y'all only do fun stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's a great place
I
to
Fun
definitely
auntie
have
over
that.
here.
Yeah.
I have a great relationship with my nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning into the nieces because I think they are going to be more likely to actually help me out when I'm old.
Oh Lord.
They're gonna keep you young.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So
That conversation. Okay. Do you or have you ever been one to take on a person as a project?
like try to change someone.
As a project. Like maybe they had some things and you're like, oh, I can help you or I can fix you or I don't know. As a project.
The person being a project.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like dating somebody with potential.
That's what it sounds
we
like.
don't
And you're dating their
that.
potential and not who they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Learn that lesson.
But when you say take it on as a project, that means that you are aware of what's going on and you're like, okay, I know what I'm going to do here.
See, I
Sounds
was
like a Leo to me.
oh, hush it. I was doing that without knowing I was doing that until I saw the pattern of what I was doing.
Look at you.
Come on, self-awareness.
Yeah. How did you see the pattern?
It was in realizing that I felt like I was the one like bringing them up, like showing them new things, and like I never learned anything new with them other than what I didn't want, and and just lost my train of thought there. Freaking cocktails, it's amazing.
That's the sign of a really good cocktail.
A really good cocktail. Thank you for refreshing my drink. I appreciate that. But yeah, just like looking back and being like, okay, I was good for them, but they weren't good for me because I learned nothing or I didn't grow as a person,
Yeah.
but they grew because of me.
You want some reciprocity.
Yes, exactly. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, I don't have the capacity
There you go.
to care about anybody else right now but myself.
Yeah.
I'm open to new connections and everything. All right.
You're open to new connections.
I'm open to new connections, but I don't have the energy to give.
What does being open to new connections mean when you don't have the energy to give?
It means that if I meet somebody and it just flows, I am open to that. Like I am not shutting anything down, but I'm open to it. So like if it just flows like there is like I give, they give, you know what I mean?
So is there commitment there though, or you just like go with the flow still? Like
Oh, it hasn't gotten that far. It's just, hey girl, what's up?
no, like, I mean committing is like for me is like, oh, we said we're gonna go hang out on Thursday, like, and I don't want to commit to doing that. Because you said you don't have the capacity, you don't have the energy to put into that. So
Yeah.
I would consider that like
You consider linking up?
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're giving. You're
because-
giving your
Yeah.
time.
Committing to a time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Well, I'm that person when I say I'm gonna do something and that's and we say, hey, time, date, place, we're gonna meet there, then yes.
Even if you don't feel like it.
No, if I say I'm gonna do it, then I committed to it. So like I don't.
What about if because your capacity changes day to day?
Yeah, we're
Sure.
talking. We committed to this 2 weeks ago. We pull up on the date. I'm not feeling it. You
Don't
just,
got the
you're just-
capacity.
You're just gonna go.
That doesn't happen to me very often.
What do you do when it does?
I don't know that it has.
So
Because I'm also that person where, like, it's me wanting to connect with that person. So for me, I get my fulfillment by connecting with people who, whether it's great conversation or we're having great cocktails or it's good music. And so I'm looking forward to that connection usually. And that's where it comes from for me.
So you override not having the capacity.
that's what it sounds
Okay, when I say
That's what it sounds
when
like.
I say not having the
because I
capacity,
can connect with someone over the phone
listen.
and be in my bed.
See, but I'm not a phone
Okay.
person, so there's also
and
that.
that's-
Right. So for me, when I say not having the capacity, I mean in regards to like dating and like who I am when I date.
That's all a part of it, though, is
That
it not?
it's a
Is it? I mean,
Yes.
for me, it's.
But I guess in your mind, though, you're equating it to like, okay, I don't have to have the responsibility of like making or having this person like me or going forward with this
Yeah,
person
no, because
in the way that I like
initially it's not about like a dating phase. For me, it's about getting to know a person. And so, like I said, it's if we clicked and we've had great conversation and we're like, let's link up and go here, it's usually going to be a place where one of my favorite DJs are spinning, number one. So I'm definitely going to want to go.
100% going to be a place where your DJs are.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then it's getting to know this person more. So for me, it's when I say that, it's I'm just trying to get to know them. I'm not in the space of like when I say don't have the capacity, it's of when I cared the way that I did before.
So have you? Where do you feel like you cross that threshold? Because if you're
When
getting
I
to
start
know
to like
someone-
them.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
initially you don't like them. You're just
Yeah,
trying to get
no,
to
I'm
know
just trying to
them.
get to know them. I might not like your ass. Like I'm trying to get to know you
Okay.
to see if I even like you to want to date you.
So
Well-
for you, is it? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Follow your train of thought.
I guess because so many people, like, for me personally, like, I don't know, I'm a Libra, so it's like physical attraction is obviously the first thing. So if I'm physically attracted to you, then I'm going to want to get to know you. But like for you, it seems like, oh, I need to know you on a deeper level, and then I decide if I like you.
I mean, obviously, you know, as a human being, it has to be initially like you have to be visually appealing, obviously.
Yeah, some level.
Well,
Right.
we can't say obviously because that's not
That's
true for
not
everybody.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, for me.
For you, yeah.
That you have to be visually appealing. That's one. But then it is, okay, I want to take the time to get to know you. Right. And then from there, I'm like, okay, I'm going to either be like, I can rock with this or I can't. So I don't.
So friend or dating is what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. And then when I'm like, I think I like you, then it goes into where I'm talking about, do I have the capacity to care? Because when I get to that space and it's in my brain, I'm a giver. And I have learned I need to like dial that back, and not everybody is worthy of what I have to give. And so that's what I mean when I say I don't have the capacity.
Okay.
Oh,
But
that's-
initially, it is, I'm trying to get to know you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what
And
I'm
it's-
also hearing you say is once it gets too hard,
Yeah.
that's it. If it's not flowing anymore, you're out.
Yeah, I have
Based on
horror
the past.
Right,
Based
but
on
I
the
have horror
past.
stories, though. That's why.
Well, I mean, you know, and that's fair, but you can't base your horror story experiences on your present day experiences because it's just bringing more of
sure,
it
but that's why I'm
forward.
open to new connections.
Well,
And so
I
does
don't
that
know.
tie
I think
into
that's
the
out. I
non-negotiables?
think that's
Because
out.
you obviously not considering them as a candidate for dating if the flow isn't right. So
Yeah.
and I mean, there's not a specific thing that you can say is a non-negotiable, but like if they are not vibing with you, like y'all would not be dating. Like
No, we can be cool.
so their vibe is a non-negotiable for you. I think you did say that though. To be fair.
Steph's definitely pulling on a thread.
I'm here
Be-
for it.
Because I've heard you, and we've talked about good stories. None of them I'll bring up here because this will be public. But I've definitely challenged you and asked you, you know, are you sure that that's the reason you want to not have a conversation with this person ever again? And to me, it's always seemed, not always, that's not right, but there have been occasions where it seemed like that was enough to like kill the flow. Okay. But I mean, you know, if that's all it takes, or if that's not working for you, it's your choice, right?
I love it. It's
Yeah.
giving no nonsense. Don't waste your time.
But
I
some of
mean,
the things that are categorized as nonsense,
and that's her
are
personal
interesting.
preference.
Yeah,
Sure.
It just means a lack of desire. It sounds.
that's fair.
And it won't last long. You can't
Yeah.
force it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm here for the word we used earlier is reciprocity, right? So, like, what
Reciprocity,
I'm
yeah.
giving, I would like to receive because as a giver, I can tend to do too much and then therefore become drained. If it's, I like, oh, I like this person, and then I, you know, am that person that's going to like give and support and do all the things. and then I don't get it back in return.
Right.
But are you giving to receive though?
Not at all.
It sounds like it.
Yeah,
No,
it does
no,
sound
no,
like
no.
it.
It's I have given and given and
In
given.
the past?
Yes.
Okay.
I have given and given because I care and because I'm considering that person, and then I become drained where I'm like, I don't feel fulfilled anymore.
Gotcha.
So
So you
then-
had that experience though, but when you're in the present moment, you can't be like, oh, I've given and given in the past, so I don't know if I'm gonna give you anything.
Not initially until I know I like you. You might not be worth me liking you.
That's kind of my point. I think as soon as the first thing that reminds of the past happens, it's like, I've seen this
Yeah, I'm
before.
outta here.
I'm out of here.
You gotta. I mean, it seems like because the more that happens, then the pattern of it just continues, right? Of the past, you got to be able to see if the human is actually different because it's not the same person, it's not the same experience. It could feel the same. Not to say you should definitely pay attention to what you feel.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Then mine.
Definitely pay
Then mine.
attention. Definitely pay attention to what you feel. But just like for instance, I just believe that what you offer to the world, you should offer to the world, regardless of what the reciprocity of it is. That
Absolutely.
is your offering to the world.
Yeah.
Like if you're a giver, you got to be a giver because that's who you are.
Yeah.
You can't give based on the people that you're coming in contact with because you're not going to be able to be
So
yourself.
the givers are to
authentically.
give and give and give and never be fulfilled.
Well, you got to know your own. You have to
And
know
I was
your
about
own
to say,
capacity.
what's-
You got to know what your own capacity is for giving. Because, for instance, if this is how much I have to give and I'm giving this much, that's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you. Every single time, it's on you.
Yeah. I hear that.
Because if you're gonna give me everything you got, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
And you gonna give me some more?
And most humans would.
Most people do,
Yeah.
But
For
that's what
sure.
she's saying. She just want to be with somebody who can give her the same in return, and that's okay. And she's not saying that she's changing her own self.
Well, it sounds like she is because if you
She's
want
not. She's
somebody
still
to
a
give
giver.
you, but not as much, she's giving contingent upon like she's
What she
giving.
gets back.
She giving a little bit and then a little bit and then it's
She
like
didn't say
trying to
that.
see.
She just
But we're
said
talking about not what she's saying. Was actually
Your
I
perspective.
can't
yeah.
Steph's perspective of what I just said.
I didn't perceive it that way, at least. But I mean,
And that's just for abundance reasons, right? So if you want somebody that's gonna be giving you and offering all that you're offering, you giving your offerings and things, and it's gonna come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
biblical.
it's facts.
I'm just tapped out.
okay. Maybe you need a break. That's okay.
And I've been taking a break. That's definitely been happening.
well, we didn't even speak to how do you feel fulfilled. But I mean, I guess with giving.
For me, it's the little things.
Okay.
Are
So-
you what are the 5 love languages?
Oh,
Which
Lord.
ones?
So when I took that test, mine was pretty even across the
Okay.
board. There was 2 that tied at the top, but overall it was pretty even.
So what was which 2 tied at the top?
Words of affirmation and quality time.
Okay.
So no giving in that. I mean, I guess to a certain extent, you're giving your words, giving your time.
I just want to feel appreciated. That's all.
That makes sense. I think everybody wants that.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're putting it out there.
Regardless.
You're definitely on a no nonsense. Like as soon
But
as
you have
as soon as
heard
that
some horror stories,
have.
Janet. Okay.
I have, and I feel poor. I feel really bad for this poor lady that's gonna come up and accidentally give the wrong text message
Yikes.
because
Through it.
they happen to be in a bad mood, and you're gonna read it, and that's gonna be the end of
In
it.
friend zone.
Yeah,
is where it's going. Got
that's
it.
absolutely what's gonna happen.
I feel like that's fine too, because what's meant to be will be,
That's fair,
right?
Yeah.
And if you're someone that they are intrigued by and interested in, that thing ain't gonna.
They're not gonna give up.
Nah. I'm like, all right, girl, I'm gonna text you tomorrow.
We can talk about it later.
Yeah.
All right,
You're just in your
it's all
feelings
good.
right now. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Right. That's fair.
If they wanted to, they would.
Thank you guys for giving your time today and sharing your thoughts and opinions on the various topics we discussed. I know some of you guys have some projects going on if you want to tell the people what you got going on so we can be there.
Yeah, sure. Closing thoughts wise from me. So the Good Lounge has a winter social coming up at Trez Bistro and Wine Bar on December 29th, which is a Thursday. It's a fundraiser, capital F-U-N raiser, with the intent of really having people come together and learn a little bit more about holiday and seasonal depression. So everything that the Good Lounge does is around, as you mentioned earlier, physical, financial, and emotional well-being. and we want to have a little bit of that conversation and just come together to be able to support future giveaways of resources. Like we've given away Set Boundaries, Find Peace, the workbook. We'll be giving away gift cards to Nap Bar. We'll be giving away gift cards to get free therapy sessions and things like that. So that's what the donations, the types of things the donations support, and would love to meet anybody that has an opportunity to come out. Go to thegoodlounge.org/winter to register for that event if you're interested in attending.
Super fun, super fun. And what about our fellow podcaster over here? What you got going on?
You can check me out on understandablysow.com. That's understand SOW.com. Podcast Understandably So, streaming on all platforms. I would prefer you listen on Amazon Music, which is a free app, or Spotify, so you can see the beautiful artwork that I've created for each program. My social media, Instagram is Understandably So. Again, that's SOW. And you can find me on Twitter at Orangey, ORANG33.
Check her out. I asked her once, I was like, are you a poet or no? Because the way she puts words together, it's amazing.
Sounds like a poet to me.
Exactly.
Giving poet vibes.
Exactly.
Hey, I received that.
Exactly.
Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and put it on the atmosphere. I am trying to put together a true crime podcast, Houston-based. You can follow us on Instagram at Clutch City Crime, and our first episode should be dropping at the end of January, if God says the same.
To our listeners, grow your community and take a moment to like, subscribe, and or follow our guests on their respective platforms. If you're a local in the Houston, Texas area, we'd like to meet you in person at our next Cocktail Mocktail Hour. It is every last Sunday of the month. Visit CMH EPC on Facebook or Instagram, or go to our website, www.cmhepc.com, for more details.